G'day there, trendsetters. Can one be an observant, practicing Jew and a vegan at the same time? And I would answer yes, according to the definition of veganism, you can. Basically, being an observant, practicing Jew, or whatever language you want to use to say somebody who believes that the Torah is real, that God exists, and therefore, and God gave the Torah, and therefore the Torah has relevant instruction in my life, and I've got to follow it. Being an observant Jew, you have to do things which necessitate the use of animal products, whether it's the shofar, which is a ram's horn. You have to have mezuzahs, which is got cloth in it, animal parchment made from animal skin. As a man, I put tefillin on every day. As a Lubavitcher Chabad Chassid, I wear 2 pairs of tefillin. I wear a talit, which is a wool. All these things, you've got to use animal products. I'm going to take a little tangent here. The only time in the Torah that a person has to eat meat, if they're rank and file Jew, is at the Korban Pesach, the Paschal sacrifice, which is coming up, and then it's only a kazai, it's only a very small amount. I think in the future, I believe in Messiah coming, changing reality to make the world a better place. I don't think we're going to be eating meat. That's consistent in my reading. Everybody can have a look at chapter 11, verse 9. I believe it is, chapter 11, verse 9 of the book of Isaiah, where God talks about kind of a change in reality where peace will reign supreme and even animals won't harm each other and man certainly won't hurt animals. That's also consistent with Rambam in the Guide to the Perplexed, where he talks about what's going to happen in terms of temple sacrifices. He believes they're going to be grain. It's not going to be animals anymore. That's his belief. And I believe is consistent with the vision of Isaiah in chapter 11. People can, go, oh, Isaiah, well, it's quite a serious vision. I think it gave the world the vision for world peace. And that's emblazoned on the side of the UN building in New York City, talking about us, the reality that will happen when we will beat our swords into plowshares, when we will use, the metal for weapons the metal for agriculture, for just, taking care of the land and feeding the world. So that's what I believe. I believe Judaism is not veganism, veganism is not Judaism, but Judaism in terms of its Messianic belief is definitely compatible with veganism. We're striving for a utopian outcome of a vegan world. We live in a reality right now to get there that we need to put tefillin on. We need to use some certain animal products as part of our daily ritual, as part of our daily reality, to express our truth, to get our spiritual meaning, and to really satisfy our spiritual urges inside. So with the definition of veganism, which is, being vegan, not having animal products in either food or consumption, as far as practicable and as far as possible. For me, it's impossible and not practicable to go without those things. And for many people, it's not possible to abstain from the consumption of vegetables and fruit just because they involve pesticides, whether organic or non-organic. There's still some degree of pesticides and agricultural clearing of the land, which no doubt damages animal habitat, all these things. Whether we like it or not, our life leaves a footprint on this earth and harms animals, insects, harms nature. Our obligation is to live a life that's meaningful and real and true, that even though we have that footprint, we've minimized that footprint as much as possible, and justified that footprint. There's a great Hayom, which is a Chabad source, where it says in the future, the rocks are going to, the stones are going to come and turn to us and go, what right did you have to walk on me? What were you doing, you human being? How was your life force, your life so justified that you could even walk on me? We engage in things which are really meaningless and not fulfilling and not meaningful and not righteous and a waste of time. We should, we've all got our struggles. We've all got to try and do better. How much more so, if the rocks are going to say that, the stones are going to say that, how much more so are the animals that we've eaten, or the animals that we've harmed in our life? Are they going to come and turn to us, mate, you took my life. What did you do with it? What did you do with that energy that you got from eating me or wearing me or using me? Did you use it to become a better person, or was I just a selfish guy on Twitter? Nah, you know what I mean? kind of channeling, what's the comedian's name there? Anyway, it'll come to me, Louis C.K. So basically summing it up, to live a life that I believe is true as a Jew, I need to use animal products. I limit that as far as practicable and possible, as we all do. Even the most zealot vegan can't go without, some form of harm to animals, and that's the reality we live in. We've got to limit that footprint, and we've got to live a meaningful life. For me, meaningful life, Orthodox Jewish life. And that's it. Judaism is not veganism. Veganism is not Judaism. The two can coexist as best as possible. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to be more moral than God. I'm trying to live a meaningful life. And your ethical justifications and motivations for veganism, or what motivates a vegan, I think there's three pillars essentially: health, the environment, and ethics. I think one can have a multifaceted set of ethics. There's no one set of ethics that governs everything, and there are ethics that clash. And you can see that in the extreme with people like a privileged vegan, people like Simply Vegan, who became a neo-Nazi, and other vegans like the Glucose Network, where they can have great vegan principles of ethics, but then interesting other ethical views and political views and how that views their life. So veganism, a very important part, but not the whole part of my life. So that's how different ethics and different values can coexist at once. Anyway, I hope that's some food for thought. Stay vegan, stay kosher. See you, bye.